Hit that shit.
You're about to listen to the String Ninjas Podcast, String Ninjas Podcast, String Ninjas Podcast, String Ninjas Podcast, String Ninjas Podcast. Music. Soft porn stuff. 5, 4, 3, 2, String Ninjas Podcast, String Ninjas Podcast, String Ninjas Podcast, String Ninjas Podcast.
Aloha, folks. How's it going? Welcome to episode number 7 of the String Ninjas podcast. Myself, Gavin Ferris, and this wonderful gentleman, Juan Guevara. You are here.
Is it not Miguel Podcaster?
Miguel Podcaster. That's it. Havana Unana.
Yeah.
Fucking so episode number 7. Time is flying. When you're
You've had plenty of chances to stop us, and we're still going.
I know. Well, thing is, I don't think anybody's listening, so nobody gets fucked to say to stop anyway. So, but so yeah, this is episode number 7. We were trying to think of plans to do for the next couple. So I think episode 10 we're gonna do a big live stream. We're gonna do obviously gonna record the podcast as normal, but do a live stream as well. And basically the whole podcast is gonna be us just making music. And letting people into that sort of window of our minds, of our psyches, to see what our process is, and then the curtain will fall, and all the magic will be gone, and people will realise, these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing.
well, that's the plan. Unless live music starts up again and we get gigs, and then we're away.
I know. Then fuck
See ya.
Fuck the podcast. I'm gonna burn all the equipment. Just fucking you just see me smashing shit. No, yeah, no, it'd be good. I still want to keep this up.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. That's am I she?
Shout out to Pfizer, curing COVID.
Fucking, it was somebody put up a thing the other day. It was it's like a happy first birthday COVID. It's,
No, that was yesterday. Was officially the first case was reported.
It's now COVID 20. There we go. In America, it'll be able to drink, but it can't own a gun. So which is very strange. Okay.
Could you imagine a virus with a gun?
Pointless. It's like a fish with a bicycle. Do you know what I mean?
Have you never seen a fish ride a bike though?
No.
Is it not in the Guinness factory? There's a fish riding a bike. No.
In the Guinness factory.
No, sorry.
No.
I saw that after drinking last night. No,
I was just gonna say, they use fish bladder. Well, they use fish bladders in Guinness, which is an awful weird
there's fish
ingredient.
bones used in lots of white wine, like.
Such a weird ingredient to like have it. No, like just it's like, here's a glass of water. It contains cyanide. Like, it's a weird ingredient to have in water. I thought it was just hydrogen.
As soon as I saw that that mouthwash apparently cures COVID, and I was like, it just immediately made me think of blue aftershock, and then our talk last week
the book
about you bulking up red aftershock in the form of jelly.
Oh yeah, that wasn't. It's like jelly that hadn't set yet. Do you know what I mean? But,
who would have knew Listerine could have cured? And that's the thing. Apparently, mouthwash was invented.
To clean floors.
Yeah, but it was never meant to be a mouthwash. Like it never.
But who the fuck came up with that? Who the fuck went?
Listerine.
I think you should drink that.
Listerine put it on the market as a mouthwash, even though mouthwash apparently wasn't required because brushing your teeth is enough.
Mm-hmm.
Or drinking salty water. That's underrated, mate. Drinking salty water.
You don't drink the salty water.
Well, no,
you swish your mouth out. You fucking you'll just come in next week. Just be like SpongeBob when they're out of the fucking water. Hello there. All shriveled up and shit.
No, that's why when you throw me into a fryer, I'm seasoned already.
Just drink a glass of pepper as well. Fucking
That's all we have to say really for the week.
That's it. No, I have a couple of things. So obviously you come into the house and you see these lovely golden balls beside Mick's head.
That's Santa.
That's it. Just you close your eyes and think it is. That's it. Let Santa's balls hit your chin there. Yeah. Fucking so we have decided to decorate. Well, not we. Fanula and the kids have decided to decorate for Christmas early. But it got me thinking, and this is what I wanted to talk to you about, right? So we were talking about like Christmas presents. Christmas is going to be tight this year, pretty much for fucking everybody.
Tighter than a camel's arse in a sandstorm, mate.
That's that tight. Yeah. That tight and gritty. It's going to be very gritty as well.
Make it very popular at Christian Brothers School, you know what I mean?
That's it. That gives you a bit of grain whenever they're,
Just I want that as a sound bite.
So it's like the end of Buffy. But yeah.
Oh mate, shit.
But yeah.
Oh god.
So Christmas presents. So I was thinking, right, my invention, right, is basically, the way I was thinking about it was that, so if you have like a family member, anyway, maybe not somebody close to you, but you know, somebody you have to buy a present for, but you know, you have to see a face. You have to buy them something or get them something to, even though you don't really want to. Maybe like you were really close to like a cousin back in the day, but then you know you caught him second cousin. That's it. But then you caught him bucking your missus in Butlins, you know, and you know, so you but nobody knows about it. It's a family secret, but you have to, you know, or maybe you know, like there's a family trip to Amsterdam, and
is this like the twin brothers in Falls Park?
This is right, Dan Gregory's story. But maybe there's like you've you know, you paid for the flights to Amsterdam on your credit card, and now your sister-in-law is snubbing you the money, so you start to get her something because for the sake of your fucking, you know, all this sort of shit. So I was thinking, you don't want to get them something too nice. I get the COVID, just sneeze into a fucking hanky and send it to them. But I was thinking you could create what I like to call a cunts mix, right? So a cunts mix is, you're going to have loads of boxes of sweets knocking about. So you get all the undesirable sweets, basically all the fucking shite sweets with nuts in them that nobody likes.
Yeah.
And you put them in, you get the cunts mix box.
Yeah. And
it's basically like a nice box, a nice paper, a nice wrapper and all. And that's basically that. You could probably sell it in fucking one of those shitty places that sells pencils. You know, the Works or something like
the bookies.
The bookies. They sell Argos. They sell those wee small pencils. So that would be my ideal gift for somebody you don't really. So you basically give all your fucking shit sweets and put them in. Maybe you fuck a couple of licorice all sorts in there because they're stinking, and then you go, right, it looks pretty, there's your cunts mix. What did you get for fucking Samantha for her birthday? I got her a cunts mix.
Yeah. Do you know what? I have an upgrade to that one. You get, if you want to put that little bit of extra effort in, like get someone like a box of roses or a box of Quality Street, right? But see all the favourable ones, all the good ones.
Yeah.
Open the wrapper, take the good ones out, put the shit ones, or even just put pieces of shit in it and wrap it up again. And then they go, oh, it's one of them, the caramel, you know, the ones that breaks your teeth. Oh, I love them.
Yeah, it'll fucking break their teeth when they're hurling up. They'll poke their teeth in the oblivion.
Bits of sweet corn and asparagus in it. Like.
Just go and get the shit off the street. Just fucking get the, what's this wee yellow thing in the middle of this sweet? Oh, it's a wee caramel Santa. It's not a bit of corn. No, caramel Santa.
Is that pistachio? No.
I know, just mold from sitting outside. Fucking in the rain. But yeah, so that's what I've been thinking about this last week. It's like Christmas presents and fucking all that shit. I've never been a big Christmas person. It's like, I've always said to Fernanda, the one thing I always wanted for Christmas was to be left alone, because you get all this really nice stuff and then they're like, here, enjoy this stuff for like 20 minutes because now you gotta leave and go to somebody else's fucking house.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I want to just stay home for it. And obviously this year and get it. But then I realised there's a downside to that. What I really wanted for Christmas was for Fionnuala and the kids to go to her mass and to leave me in the house with the Xbox and maybe a steak and you know, that's pretty much it. Like, so
like I couldn't care less. Like I look at Christmas like I look at Paddy's Day and like I look at Valentine's Day.
You had to work them all.
Well, not anymore. But no, it's like that whole thing of, it's like Paddy's Day, everybody's Irish. Why aren't you proud to be Irish all the time? Valentine's Day, why are you romantic, dear Mrs. your fella one day of the year? Do it all the time.
Why are you going to mass one day of the year?
But then it's Christmas. Like, why are you being generous? Just be like that all the time.
Did you ever go to mass for all the Christmas?
I know. Here it was when we all started getting older. It was like my mum and dad were like, right, we're going to Christmas Eve mass because it's shorter. It means we can get home and get
the little amount of commitment as possible.
I know. I'm like a postmodern Catholic.
What did he say? Some bottom. He goes, you don't go to church. He goes, I don't have to. I'm Church of England.
But no, Christmas I couldn't be arsed with it. It's just, the thing is with kids, if you have kids, it's all great and wonderful. But it's like Sheldon Cooper had the right idea. The idea of gift giving is just you're giving someone money basically for them to give you money. So why don't you just not give someone money, because then they don't have to get.
And then it's just another Sunday.
Just another
and then Sundays are shite anyway. But
you know what I mean? That's just the way I think of it. It's just I couldn't.
See,
sorry,
everything is.
I get called a Scrooge. I will like state it for the record that I am the most generous people.
It's the nicest thing you've ever been called, to be fair.
No, that's the thing. Because my ma calls me Scrooge. I'm like, no, you're calling me Scrooge because I don't give a shit about Christmas. Not because I'm a tight arse. Because I'm not. I'm one of the most generous people. That's why I'm skint all the time, because I'm so generous. But
well, you do give a good portion, like I have to say.
I do, there's plenty of it to go around. So. It's not the size of the hammer; it's the weight you're throwing away.
Is it? No, the hammer has something to do with it. Like, do you ever try and fucking?
You sound like Thor.
Do you ever try and nail a fucking thing down with a nail down with your hand? It just doesn't work.
It's not with a shoe.
A shoe.
Have you ever tried opening a bottle of wine with a shoe?
I've seen a couple of people like they're using all sorts of weird things to open random things. I knew a fella once who could open up, like you pop the beer, you used to do it with a lighter. This guy, you'd be like, here, do it with this feather, and he's like like you'd be he just
Our Crick can do that.
whatever way. He just had the technique down. He could just use anything. He'd be using the side of your fucking laptop.
The only thing I could open a bottle of beer with that wasn't a bottle opener was a lighter.
Later, same here.
But or the edge of a table, but you end up getting the table from Argos like you.
I said the
here, no, it's the same one.
the same fucking one. It is. We just couldn't care
Get up,
anymore.
yeah.
It's just like
They wore you down.
they've just wars. That's it. You know what I mean?
Like the edge of that table.
Right,
they wore
Argos,
down.
you fucking won. You've got us now. You know what I mean? It's not.
Trolls
It
got
wasn't
you.
COVID. It wasn't no work. It wasn't close proximity or not seeing family.
Something
It was
your
Argos
returns
that broke
policy.
me. That's it. Argos that just broke me. It was just like you win, Argus. You fucking cunts. You're getting a cunts mix. For fucking,
NI Assembly can learn a lot
that's it.
from Argos, like, you know what I mean?
Just
God
yeah.
shades.
Just keep saying the wrong thing.
I know.
So actually, NIE kept doing that. They kept sending us fucking letters for addressed to the woman who was living here beforehand,
Yeah.
and like she's long dead, like, and the guy they sent us like loads and loads of letters, and we just send them back saying person's dead, no longer living here, because you're not allowed to open it. And then the guy just turned up at our door. He was like, "Oh, we're here to change the meter." And I was like, "No, fucking not. You haven't told us." He's like, "Oh, we sent you like 100 letters. You must have read at least one of them." It's like, nah, because we don't fucking do shit like that.
Yeah.
So we sent him away, and he came back, even though we could have done it that day.
Yeah.
But we just were like, "Go
Yeah,
away,
principle.
come back in a couple of days when we're ready." Just, he's getting me a cunts mix.
Do this shit on my terms.
That's it. Fucking shit.
No. Yeah. Gobshades. But yeah, what about the assembly? That's what I'm getting Arlene for Christmas, a fucking calendar.
Fuck what?
Jesus Christ.
She's I haven't really been keeping up to date.
For our listeners in Estonia, by the way, let me just check that out. We currently have listeners in Estonia, in Canada, in Australia, Singapore, and Germany.
If there is a genuine like regular listener in Estonia, how does our language, how does our like fucking our thing translate to, because among English speakers,
Yeah.
people like are fucking find it hard to understand us when we talk at our sort of normal
I
speed.
know, you
and
talk
volume.
too fast. No, you listen too slowly.
That's it.
That's
Your
it.
brain can't compute.
Just stop being a retard.
Yeah, pretty much it. Just
Yeah.
get good.
Do
as
you know
they
what's
give me
funny?
a
I
shout.
was talking to a lady last night actually about this.
Fuck.
Not listener of the show. But she's Slovakian, and I said, like, I work with a lot of Slovakians because me and you a lot of hospitality experience between us.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's the one thing I always noticed when you worked with Eastern Europeans over here. There was no like lost in translation. It was the same amount of aggression.
I think if you come here and you learn English from like somebody from Northern Ireland, you'll learn your English will be fucking impeccable. Not in terms of like reading it or writing it, but definitely you're speaking it and
No,
hearing
it's
it.
just funny whenever they go and they're broken. They're speaking like if they're speaking Lithuanian or Slovakian or Czech or anything like that there, and then all of a sudden, Beijing, mate.
No, see whenever Gaddis did that thing about the personal trainer for fucking
Your
Nolan.
man,
And he pretended to be the Russian trainer who's been living here.
Aye.
He nailed it fucking perfectly,
Yeah.
because he threw all the mannerisms in, but then you could still tell the guy was Russian, and it's like every fucking phone cab driver you've ever had. You know, like you're fucking like when you're talking to them and they're like really heavy accent, but it's always the curse words. Do you ever notice that? They always say fuck and wank and shit like us.
Yeah.
Well, they do to me in the cab, like, because they're like, you're a
That's because
fucking
you're
wanker.
usually pissing or wanking.
Or shitting in there.
Yeah.
Or poking, or telling them I love their music.
Yeah.
Blocked.
I loved your appearance in Snatch, by the way.
This is my snatch.
Your
Oh, sorry,
Snatch. Oh, the film
the
Snatch.
film, the Guy Ritchie snatch. Dirty
Aye.
bastard. So
Aye.
yeah, that's about the height of it. So what are you getting me for Christmas?
What am I getting you? Mate, nothing. No, funny, actually, I spoke to my siblings and I went, like, here's the crack. I know we all buy each other every year just because we feel like we have to. See, this year I'm saying, as the eldest, Christmas is cancelled. And they were all like, thank fuck. Because it's one of them things.
They're all sitting in the house going, please let Mick be a Scrooge, a super
No,
Scrooge
but
this
it's
year.
that whole thing. It's like, look, if I want something, I'll go and buy it. Do you know what I mean? Or in the current situation, I'll go steal it.
You'll go and look mournfully at it through the fucking window.
Aye.
Like fucking Wayne when he's
I
looking at
was
that
thinking
guitar.
about that the other day as well. He's like, 'cause about buying stuff and getting stuff for free. Why does OnlyFans exist when Pornhub's there?
Because it's like because you can tailor it to what you like. Pornhub's like, it's like, you know, like it's like an a la carte. You have to order off the menu what's there. Whereas OnlyFans is if you fancy somebody, like here, let's put it this way: Pornhub's there, but think of it like of somebody that you know that you fancy the fuck out of. Imagine they went to OnlyFans and were doing stuff. Would you go, well, Pornhub's there, you know, I mean, I don't need this, or would you go here? I want to see fucking Samantha's babs.
I just wait for somebody to screen record their OnlyFans. But the thing about it is, it's like if you use something enough, it's like people who use any kind of social media and they get angered about certain things. The algorithm picks up your preferences. So like if you're an anti-masker, say, because it's the easiest, it's very current. If that's all you talk about, and that's all the stuff that you ever like
then
on
that's all you'll
Facebook,
see.
then that's all you ever see.
Yeah.
So you start to think that there's loads
Well,
of
that's
people
why
who
it's
are
called an echo
like-minded.
chamber, because you're fucking, because there could be like only 10 people, but if they're all bouncing off each other,
I
then
love how I just got from that to like Pornhub
to
to that.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, literally.
Is there an OnlyFans for anti-maskers? only faces, only chins.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I was just thinking about people in Babestation wearing balaclavas.
Oh, here, fuck, do you say Babestation? Do I hear a funny story about Babestation? Right, so...
This is about the guy who turned up his phone. He was like, here, where'd you get them lights from, love? Great. And then she was like, Terry, to get from home base.
They got them in the reduced section. They were out of the box.
It's so funny, live on air, just going, where'd you get them lights from?
No, the one I remember was... actually, very remember, because I witnessed it firsthand. It was like... Like this Babestation before, like real, like I know porn has always been on the fucking internet, like, but over the last like decade, there's been a real surge, you know, like it's just there.
I'm
It's like,
surprised I haven't been able to find myself on there.
well, if all them emails are to believe, you know, the fucking one, I got a picture of you wanking, it's going on Pornhub. Do you ever get those emails?
No,
they're like random fucking scam emails that get sent to you. I know, like it's like it's another one of those, you know, like I am, you know, President Mugabe from fucking, you know, whatever. I've got 9 million quid and I need to give it to some stranger on the internet. But it's essentially that. Only it's like, oh, I hacked your camera and there's a picture of you wanking and I'm gonna put it on all the internet now for people to see. And like there has been don't get me wrong, there has been the odd case where that's been true, but they don't phone you up and say we're going to fucking put it on. They just put it on just because they're contact, but they're not real. But it's like you get them the odd time saying, oh, you know, I got 2 or 3 of them. You know, but I was like, as Peter McVeigh said, he was like, if anybody sees my dick, let me know what it looks like. But here, no, actually, now, before I get off the topic, because I think you like this, on Babestation, right? So back in the day, used to watch a bit of Babestation, you know, and you made sure.
Well, you had your schedule, you had your 10-minute freeview on Television X.
And then you got to see the babs floating about on Babestation for nothing.
Oh, you watched Eurotrash before that?
Oh, you couldn't knock one out. Eurotrash, it was too early in the evening.
In the afternoon. Too early in the afternoon.
Well, I recorded them.
You Sky Plus and Eurotrash.
na. Fucking, but yes, so I was watching it one day.
Over your lunch, Nigella Lawson.
Here, tell you what.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking around Nigella, she would get spit roasted in a nice marinade. But yeah, so fucking was watching Babestation, and there was the lady was giving it rice. She was fucking, you know, shaking the booty and all that sort of bollocks, and the babs were out, and she was, you know, fingering the side of her leg. Did you ever see that technique? Because they couldn't go direct to the fads. They would finger the side of the leg as if, you know, like confusing lots of teen boys all over the world. But
women suddenly now realising, why was he always licking my knee tip? Well, there you go.
He was licking the inside of my thigh.
Because you watched that episode of Friends where Monica told Chandler about the 7 erogenous
zones. 7. But yeah, so basically, then there was always like the changeover, like changing of the guard, so to speak, where one woman would come in slightly off shot and she'd be like, "Oh, that was the lovely fucking Candice there, you know, blah blah blah," and they have a little banter between each other before then it would like switch over to her properly, and she was like, "Yeah, Candice, how you getting on?" Now bear in mind, Candice is fucking giving it rice here, fingering the side of her leg and all. And she goes, Candice, how are you getting it tonight, love? And she goes,
she's like trying to get that 2p out of that wee pocket. just trying to get.
She goes there. She goes, so Candice, how are you getting it tonight? He goes, yeah, I've been talking to this guy, tell him about how I love fucking dildos. And then your woman comes back. She goes, we're very sorry about that word. So there's a woman fucking giving it this, doing that and all this here, but yet the minute she says dildo, they have to all apologise. So it's like, who's like watching this going, well, I never. I expected certain things from this show, but not dildo talk.
I was watching UFC the other night, and it went to ad break, and then when it came back, the following program may contain scenes of violence, and I was like, I should fucking hope so. I want to see two men murder
4
each
in the
other.
fucking morning. Why do you think I'm awake?
But then there's like, I was watching the box, because obviously that's the thing with live sport now, with there not being a crowd. I was watching a football match and a boxing match, and in the same day, I had apologies from the commentators going apologising for the language, and I'm like, who watches a boxing match and then complains that they were swearing?
You know, it's just like, I don't mind people potentially beating each other into a coma, but see, the minute you say fucker bugger, that's me. I'm just out of there. You know?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I miss about. Do you remember back in the day? You would, if you had a complaint, like I never did, but I always like Watchdog.
I never had a complaint, big son.
Yeah, but that's what you would do if it was something that you didn't enjoy, but like if it was something on a TV program, you watched Emmerdale on a Wednesday,
you would turn it off.
It wasn't replied to until a Monday because you had to write a letter, post it, and then it went through us, you know. But nowadays, you don't go on Twitter, we keyboard warriors. I was offended by him. Shut your hole.
You're the first one to do that.
I never. No, excuse me.
Just get on your fucking blog and talk about
I'm
it.
the first one to go on Twitter and compliment stuff, mate, because I'm all about spreading that positive love.
That's spreading that positive love.
You know?
Like fucking.
The only thing I've ever tested positive for was love.
That's it.
You know what I mean, mate?
You've got a serious dose of it. You've got the digestional version. So I found out this week that, you know, the mother-in-law, she's diagnosed with COVID, but she's doing well. It was scary for her to because she is in the vulnerable category, but she's pulling through. But the one thing that I did not know about, and this is the main point, is that apparently there's 2 types of it. There's a respiratory, and then there's a stomach one.
I've heard that,
Yeah, like a digestive one. So
sorry. No, you made me think of biscuits there.
Oh, right, yeah.
I didn't mean to laugh. It's a very serious thing.
Digestive COVID.
Oh, sorry. Maura, if you're listening, I'm really sorry.
Fucking so it's weird. I thought that was strange because that's the sort of information you think would
aye.
be fucking widespread. Is you know, you don't necessarily fucking die from not being able to breathe. You might fucking not eat for 3 weeks and starve yourself.
The information is very misguided. Like my brother had it a few weeks ago, and took it really bad. And this is a guy who keeps fit, runs 10Ks a couple of times a week and all. He had floored him. But then he done his 10-day isolation, and then he got another test to check if he was negative, so he could go back to work. Because his work were like, right, you have to get a negative test before you come back. He tested positive again. Track and Trace phoned him, and we're like, "Oh, we're just phoning you just to confirm your number and your address, because obviously they literally will call around your house if you're breaking isolation." So my brother was like, "Oh, it's my second positive test," and the guy from Track and Trace was like, "Oh, right, that's okay. You don't need to worry about self-isolating." And my brother was like, "But I've tested positive," and he was like, "I know, but it stays in your system for 3 months, so you'll just keep getting positive tests." And I was like, that's very strange information to be giving people, because you're frightening us all into hiding in our cupboards like Harry Potter.
Just so you guys know, by the way, this is a little thing out there that I found out, because Fiona's brother had it. He lives around the corner, and he's a teacher, and Gary had it really, really bad. Like he was probably, but I didn't realize this. There's some sort of, he gets paid to do a coronavirus test every week. They come out to his door and take his example because they're collecting it for like statistics. But because he's a teacher and he's in that specific environment, his statistics are like specifically geared towards that. So he gets paid fucking a couple of grand for this. So it's like, here, it's a fucking investment.
True.
So if anybody gets it out there, look into that there. Fucking, if you don't mind your statistics, if you don't mind hawking up a bit of phlegm into a wee cardboard box.
Say they run the same test as sperm bags, because hello. But yeah, that's weird. Like just the information that you get given, because you
I've got a tenner in the sperm bag.
That's the thing as well. Like people slavering, "Oh, you shouldn't be opening up bars again." And I'm like, right, no, it is. See, if they open up the bars, you don't have to go. Well, it's like seeing the legalised gay marriage and all the Presbyterians were giving off. I was like, see, because
all
it's
those
legal.
Presbyterians getting married to each other, fucking like.
But it's like, just because it's legal doesn't mean you have to get one. You know, it's.
I remember saying to somebody about that, and like they completely like somebody else. They were like, somebody made a point, and then I basically said what you said. And I was like, I was being like sarcastic, and I was like, "Oh, you know, the minute they legalized gay marriage, I started kissing this fella walking down the street." Do you know, like as a joke, like I was saying, like. just because it's there does not mean that everything is now completely and utterly affected by it. It makes no difference to your fucking life. But then this person was like, that's a real homophobic fucking thing to say. And I was like, I really don't follow how it is. And he's like, oh, because you're saying this, that, and the other. And I was like, mate, I just like, there's no fucking talking to you because you are quite obviously a fucking idiot that doesn't get irony, sarcasm, and fucking. I was saying that, you know, it's such an extreme example. It's obviously not true, and that is what I'm saying to you. It's just fucking people are fucking idiots.
I don't know. It's like if anybody tries to throw an accusation like that at me, I'm just like, look at the flag on my wall. It's a fucking St. Pauli rainbow flag. Shove that up your hole.
Well,
Here, you might enjoy it, mate.
you enjoy it. Who knows?
I know, but it's just the world's full of people like that. But I got in trouble at school when I was in 5th year for that was the abortion talk, and it was like we were told we must disagree for to pass our exam, and I was like, nah. And the teacher told my parents on parents' evening that I was being insolent, and my mum was like, ask the other.
He's not diabetic. Why does he need insulin for?
I know. She was like, ask the other teachers in this hall. Like, no, they all speak so highly of him. I'm pretty sure you're mistaken. But it's because I was like, I don't care what the curriculum says. You asked me my opinion, and my opinion was, well, first of all, my opinion was I'm 15. Why you ask me that? I hope I never have to make that decision. But then it's like, fuck up! Like, don't be. You're telling me what I should think.
Your opinion
that defeats the purpose
what I tell it is
of a debate. That's the beauty of a debate is you don't have to agree with somebody.
I don't like
but
debating
to be able
people.
to see somebody else's point of view, like.
Well, yeah, no, I just don't give a shit. I just like you probably have a point of view and it's probably as valid as the next person's, but I couldn't give a fuck. So it's like, don't even bother debating with me. There's like so many. There's a taxi driver keeps fucking like the minute I sit down, he's like, so you know. This, and it's like it's every time, and he's not a bad fella like by any stretch, but he's like, I think he thinks he's being like intellectual by bringing up these subjects now, but it's like mate, stop talking to me about this.
I wish their mouth was connected to the meter, so every bit of shit they talked would knock 20 feet off the fare.
That's it.
Because
it's fucking you
if you get there, they be owing you money.
Here on a letter note, what's your elf name? It's the first letter of your name and the month you were born. So you are February. So your first name is M, which is no one, and February gives a shit. So I thought that was funny. Funny, no, because that is it. That's actually no one gives a shit. But look, on February they've left out the E, so I thought that was kind of ironic. Like the only one you couldn't have copied and pasted.
Do you know who's done that? The guy who did the graphs for Boris's thing the other week. You know, whenever all the graphs came out, they show all the R rate, and they went all the way to October, and then they'd obviously hit return in November. December was underneath January, February. Clampets.
But you fucking see that and go, like that's wrong. Before I bring this out here,
because that was for the briefing that was nearly 3 hours late.
Oh,
it was meant to be at like 4 o'clock, and he came out at 10 to 7 or something like that.
I turn off all the news and all. It's not that I'm like anti fucking, you know, looking after people and fucking anti mass and this and that. It's just like common sense is, you know, if I sneeze in your face, you're gonna get it. If I put my hand up in front of sneezing, you're not gonna get it and all that sort of shit. So it's just like, but I don't. It's like the news is so fucking doom and gloom. And then I was looking at somebody was saying, oh, we need to cancel the TV license. And all because, you know, BBC fucking thing, like BBC is simultaneously left wing and right wing propaganda doing like but people don't fucking realize the TV license pays for fucking so much more than just the fucking the 24-hour newsroom. Like CBeebies, like Jonathan Pye brought this up and I was like, yeah, fucking CB. Like imagine the if fucking chaos.
If it's on the BBC, that's what your license pays for.
It pays for fucking everything. Like nobody. But the thing is, people need to be honest and just be like, I don't want to pay it. They're using like I don't want to pay it because, you know, this Tory propaganda, this left wing propaganda. It's not. It's just your take on. You don't want to pay it. Yeah. You don't want to pay something for the better good. I mean, the same people don't want to pay their fucking taxes. You know? Fucking dicks.
We know who you are.
We know who you are. We're coming to get you. I phoned the TV license man. I got a tenner for every house I fucking convict.
I remember being at uni and like when you moved into the halls of residence, the first letter everybody got was a letter from the TV license man. So there'd be like a block of like 600, 700 people. And the van would like sit outside and just go scan them because apparently they could scan to see who wasn't paying the license.
I think that was it wasn't an exact science that.
I don't think so either. But I know there's a few
because you could just say like there's 300 people above me. Maybe it's one of them. Close the door.
Oh, there you go. I just got a notification. Strict Ninja's scheduled a video premiere to begin in 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, that was me.
So if you're listening to this podcast now, you should have
You're
seen
late.
you should have seen our lovely video.
Yeah.
Here, did you do what you said you were gonna do and zoom into my face when I did that thing? I did.
Oh, the thing? No, I actually didn't because I couldn't be arsed.
All right. What's the new?
But I will.
Yeah.
No, don't spoil it. I'll do a separate one for you.
No, I was
And
going to say
I'll
that.
do
No,
that.
if they should watch the video and then just leave us send us a message if you see what I meant to be talking about.
Okay. Makes weird face.
Next word face.
But no, I will. I'll edit that and do a wee close up of it. A wee slow pan. Or a wee slow camber.
Low pan.
Low pan.
Big
Don't
trouble
go
in
off.
China.
Started them.
Yes!
Started them.
Sorry. Oh, but before we go any further.
No, don't even say it.
My foot's feeling better.
Aye,
Thanks.
that's it, fuck.
There you are, Declan. Do a shot.
You know what I was meant to do? I was meant to put I was looking this up to see, and I completely forgot to follow on a soundboard. You know, like make your own soundboard. Is there so I could have it just loaded up here and just load of clips in that'll just play whenever I hit the button.
Yeah.
But there is a way to do it, but I completely forgot the fucking name because that's what I wanted to do. Was whenever you say anything about your foot, one foot in the grave. God, I'll just get that.
For anyone who doesn't know, there's a running joke with my mate Declan. Because when we started, basically, I think it was the first week we started recording the podcast.
You got the
I wrecked my foot the week before, so we were recording. I was on crutches, and it just became a running gag every week that I just talk about my sore foot. So there you go. What was that? Are we 30 minutes in? Who had 30 minutes in the bingo? Do a shot. Do a shot. Last week was 5 minutes in.
5 minutes, I just get it out of the way. We should just go saying like, good afternoon, welcome to the String Ninjas podcast. I'm Gavin Ferris, and you go, and I'm Mick Conlon Sorefoot. That's it, just done straight away. Bet against yourself. Fucking.
That's it.
So yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll try to do it like an hour, and then we'll just send out bets for people. You'll be like fucking Bonsai. Place your bets now. Fucking.
Oh, what a show, mate!
Remember Bonsai?
Shaky hand, man.
Shaky Hammer. He was
What
very
was,
good.
what was the record he got? I think it was like 2 minutes or something.
It was quite a long one.
Yeah.
I can't even remember whose hand he was shaking.
Brad Pitt's. No.
He would never have gotten to shake Brad Pitt's hand. Fuck me. Be lucky to
Somebody
lift
quite
to
famous.
smell the sweat off his balls. Never mind. Fucking Brad Pitt. You never get to shake his hand. That's a luxury.
Yeah.
It's just it's like fucking Paul Hollywood and Bake Off.
Do you know what? That's one of the best guest stars on Friends, I'd say. That episode, you know, when it comes to Thanksgiving. You know, the rumor.
Oh yeah.
I think it's because the thing is obviously him and Jennifer Aniston were married at the time, so obviously they're
he could star each other.
Yeah, they're fierce rivals in the show itself, and I think it's definitely one of the better guest star appearances.
Well, I still have to do our Friends themed
Yeah.
one because I have all sorts of fucking shit I'm gonna drop about Friends.
Oh,
I'm gonna let people see it from a totally different perspective.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the big question is, and we both know the answer: who was the best friend?
Joey.
I mean, of
It's
course,
Joey.
Is the only one that never screwed anybody over.
Mm-hmm. And even people always say like, oh, but you know, he was a womanizer. Yes, he did her around, as is his right to, but he always grew and respected.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and I says the
And he always made sure they were looked after the next
always
morning with
looked
pancakes.
That's it. Give them the pancakes. But the thing is, as well, and people don't realize this, he was the only man in a woman's household with like 9 women that he was close to. So in a weird way, you know, him like having sex with all these women was his only way of like the only way that he could try and get close to, you know, the women around him, like. So, but he was always the first to jump to people's defense. He whenever like he never got offended. Remember in the episode where he couldn't jizz because he was doing the experiment.
Yeah.
So he just basically ate your woman out for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, let's give you another go and all this here. He comes out of it going like, fuck, I've learned so much about you know, about everything and all. He's like, he goes, I'm blind, but all my other senses
are right.
Yeah. But no, whenever she goes, you're practically a woman. No, like when he say he like laughs, and it's like, you know, like if you had said that to Ross, he would have fucked her out the window. If he said it to Chandler, he would have fucking probably turned into one.
But I know, we'll not spoil that one. That's
I've got the fucking
Many-
the
many-
Jewish paradigm that is the Geller family.
yeah.
Fucking, yeah, but we'll go into it later.
But even like, I'll not talk about the show, but whenever you see them all on chat shows, like Matthew Perry was probably the least charismatic of all of them. Because I think maybe something to do with the fact he spent most of his professional career in rehab. But he never seemed that funny. Matt LeBlanc was always quite good. Actually, David Schwimmer was doing, he did a new show there last year called Intelligence.
Oh yes, I remember seeing
Do you know
that.
what, mate? It's actually quite funny. And I watched the pressers for that, and he's quite funny in it. Because he literally he's a caricature of that American CIA agent. Because like I've actually recently been rewatching Spooks. It was obviously about MI5.
I've never watched anything by anybody's standards, because you're naming all these shows. It's like I've heard of them, but I have never seen a single episode of anything.
No, you were literally bottom Red Dwarf and Alan Partridge
And Blackadder
and Blackadder and Black Books. Anything outside of those 5.
British comedies. Father Ted. Oh fuck. Oh, I mean, I was meant to show you earlier.
We'll have to do a Father Ted episode.
Oh yeah, definitely. Fucking Father Ted all the way. No, it is. Fuck it. Just put the camera on me and I'll act every part.
Oh, here. I just got a text message. My dad tested negative for COVID.
Yeah. But unfortunately, you're still his son.
Am I? There you go.
Did you see there's this, I discovered this little thing on YouTube, because obviously we're trying to use YouTube more and trying to push more people towards it for the music and whatnot. So I realized you had to use it like almost like social media, you know, like, because people just see it as like a video archive. So there's no comments, there's no real subscriptions. Like when you add a friend, they add you, you know, like you follow somebody on Instagram, they follow you back, all that bollocks. It never really did that on YouTube. But one of the things I came across was this thing called after work reactions, and it's this fella in America, and he basically gets recommendations from people saying, "Oh, you need to check this out. You need to check." And one of them was Father Ted, and he's just like, I don't know where he's from in America, but he's obviously like a big comic nerd, and he has all the things, all the figurines and the comics all around him and all this here. And basically, he was like, well, actually, I need to tell you, he's black, right? So like, that makes it even funnier, the episode that he watched, because he says nobody gave me anything specific, they just said Father Ted. So he was like, so I found the racist episode, the thing, and see watching him watch it, he was in stitches, like in wrinkles, and he was like, but he couldn't have been as far removed from the demographic of Father Ted. Like, you know, like, it's about white, rural, fucking Catholic, backwards fucking town.
The beauty of that show was it was so true.
Oh yeah. Everybody knew.
Yeah.
I watched an interview with, was your man Greg Lynham? Is that his name?
Graham
Lynham. Is that what it is?
Graham Linehan.
Linehan, is that it? And he basically, some English woman in Manchester was like, I'm a, you know, fucking like third generation. Like basically her grandparents were Irish and moved to England. And she was like, and that offended me, and it made me this, and it made me ashamed. And he's like, well, I'm from Dublin, and I wrote it. So it was like, I don't understand what your fucking point is. No. Do you know what I mean? It's not like some fucking, you know, some other fucking guy from another country wrote it about, you know, in an attempt to be racist. It's like, literally, all it was missing was the babies and Choom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was fucking, because it's like, we all knew the priest. And the best bit about it was, you were seeing the episode where it's like, where they say, oh, Irish families used to have the two brothers. The smart one would get sent off to be like a doctor or something, and the idiot would be thrown into the priesthood. And he's like, your brother's a doctor, isn't he? And he's like, yeah. I think that's what happened. You know, people don't realise that. But that's what's so fucking brilliant about it.
Yeah, the Eurovision episode is up there with the best because it's so current as well.
The through Ireland through the Eurovision,
because it was like 4 out of 5 years Ireland won it, and that was the whole thing, because the Irish economy was being crippled by having to host the Eurovision every single year.
It's so weird. It's like the World Cup, you know, like this big fucking money spinning event, but the country that hosted do not make any money. Because basically FIFA makes all the money, because they have, like, they're exempt from taxes, they're exempt from anything. For, was it Brazil? They got the Brazilian government, basically there were so many people dying at fucking Brazilian football games that they banned alcohol, and it like reduced like the deaths pretty much to none. And then, well, who's the main sponsor of fucking World Cup? FIFA World Cup, fucking Budweiser. So they were like, right, you have to fucking give up this legislation, you have to get rid of it for us. So they had to fucking, so basically a law brought in that was actively saving people's lives. FIFA were like, nah, get that out of it. But then they literally,
people call them corrupt.
I know. Was it John Oliver says it was a good one? He says FIFA went into Brazil like a Brazilian wax. You know what I mean? They came away and took everything with it and left your feet in red and raw and a little bit hollow. It was like, yeah, that's pretty much FIFA. Fucking nuts. Speaking of FIFA, fucking Christmas came early, and so did I. EA are now on Games. Did you see that?
I did, and
So-
I thought you had to pay, and then I realised what you meant. It's just I
It's just
found them
there.
all.
So shitloads of EA games
Thing
are up
is,
now.
but it's all Madden and stuff.
Aye.
I think NHL's on there. I might give
If
that
you
one a whirl.
play Madden,
Yeah.
if you actively play Madden, you're a psychopath.
I can't.
It's
I can't.
just.
I think the last Madden
like
I
shit
played was
chess.
like 98 or 99.
I had a friend that was fucking obsessed with like you'd fall asleep in like the shared house room, you'd fall asleep on the sofa in the living
Yeah.
room at like fucking like 1 in the morning,
Yeah.
and you'd wake up at 5 and he'd be out of bed fucking playing it and giving it race, and you'd be like, fuck.
Thing is, I'm the only, to be honest, the only game franchise on EA that I have actively enjoyed would have been Need for Speed.
Funny, there's loads of
I
them.
always
on
enjoyed Need for Speed. I don't enjoy FIFA because I'm a PES head.
there.
Yeah, Pro Evo is the ultimate football game, and I'll fight anyone that disagrees.
I used to love
Because
Pro
it is,
Evo.
it's simply, it's they always focus more on the gameplay instead of people go, it's not licensed. Use your imagination, will you?
know.
Here, do you never remember watching?
Did you know that's not really Ronaldo in that computer game? That's a
know.
load of pixels. You know?
Like, did you never watch porn on your fucking Sony Ericsson Walkman phone? You know, the pixelated thing, you know, like,
No.
use your imagination, mate. It's fine. You don't need the real names of the real kits. It's all about the gameplay, you know? But anyway, that's
People,
just me.
I'd say people. Well, that's sort of the problem we face whenever it comes to our music. People are like, why don't you sing the words? And it's like, well, we can't for a starter, and B, it's like that is Johnny Cash fucking
Yeah.
Falls in Prison Blues.
Aye.
Everybody knows that song inside and fucking out. How can you not pick up on the fact that you're playing the fucking melody? Like, why do we need to fucking
I know, it's
spell it out for you?
man. Out of, like, it has been a very tough 9 months. It really has, not having a
You're
kid.
about to
It's
drop.
really, it's been difficult. But that is one thing I haven't missed, is having that argument with people. Because, like, I remember a woman saying to me once, like, why don't you sing? And I was like, well, I'm a much better violinist than I am a singer, and he's a much better guitarist than he is a singer. So we thought, you know what, we'll just do what we're best at. And then she was like, but I need the words. And so I said there, I was like, so hold on a second, that means you can't read a book, you need to see the film. And she went, aye. I said, you're just a gobshite. Do you know what? Just go away, will you?
I always know people say, oh, you should do this. It's like, well, we're hard on what we do, not what we should do.
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's the thing, I think you need a singer. And I was like, love, we got 5 gigs a week. I really don't need to do.
You don't need to fuck. Aye. You know, oh man, we with a singer we could push it up to 6.
I know. But that's the thing as well. Like I said to people, and all God's honest truth, when we've had singers on, when we've played with singers, it basically, if we do what we do with a singer can't cope. Because our sound's too big, and I don't mean too loud. I just mean too big.
There's too much going on.
But
it's
then-
like for us to dumb it down.
And then if we dumb it down, I might as well not be there.
No, well that's it. You're literally relegated to fucking background. It's Gavin's time to shine. I can play them chords. No sweat.
Hold on a second. I remember that one gig, that solo gig you did in the
that,
Crescent when
Jesus
I
Christ.
wasn't
I
there,
would
and then
never
you
do
were
it.
afterwards. You text me, you're like, I'm never doing that again.
This is
Because you kept, I think you kept telling jokes and turning to the left to look for my reaction, and I wasn't there. I know, it was like, but now you know what it'll be like when I'm dead. So cherish me when I'm here.
quiet. You'll be fucking quiet. I'll learn violin myself. Fuck it.
You have to learn to drive too.
Oh Jesus, that'd be harder. So fucking that one gig was a fucking pain in the dick. It really is. It's one of those ones because I had played by myself for fucking years. I played every gig by myself for like, the fuck is that? The mothership's here. Sorry, there's big weird noise out. I think it's a fucking.
Is it a bin day today?
No, it's just general clean the shit out of the ground day with that fucking one of those brushing.
Here, do you remember that gig,
go-karts.
that Crescent gig we did? Whenever we were playing, it was a Belfast Guitar Festival, so it's like fingerstyle guitars, it's all very hush, everyone sits down, the lights dim, it's all very intimate. But there was like a crowd of 15 people who showed up because we were headlining one of the nights, but they had seen us playing the John Hewitt, so they all turned up with
Totally
the
different
carryouts.
atmosphere, aye.
I thought it was going to be disco
give it
biscuits
right.
for an hour, but it wasn't. But everybody came off stage and were like, who's them hiding in the front row? And we were like, they're here to see
They're
us.
nothing to do with us. No, I don't know them. I've never met them before in
Metal.
my life.
It was funny. Do you remember? Because the lad who was in that group, he was there in the John Hewitt that night when those cops kicked off. There was 4 lads in from the PSNI
That's right.
on a night off,
Fucking ball bags.
and they started acting a maggot, and they started a fight in the Hewitt with this guy and his girlfriend, And like we witnessed the whole thing.
They're
'Cause it happened right
basically
in front of
fucking
us.
talking shit to this wee lad and cornering him for no reason. He basically, I think it was like they said something about his missus, and he was like,
Yeah.
calm the fuck down, would you?
Yeah.
And they were just sitting there enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
And then your mom was like, I never forget this. It's like that old Bill Hicks thing. You know, when the guy comes over to him and pushes him away and goes, come here.
Yeah.
And he's like, your man had him cornered, like, and was going up to him, and your mom was like going, fuck off, why don't you just fuck off? And he's like, mate, you backed him into a corner before your mates, where the fuck's he gonna go up a chimney?
No, it's not the mad thing about that was, as I remember, the doorman, Big Tom, God rest his soul, he called it in over the radio,
and they were like,
but
we're cops.
When cops, they flash their badge as well, which I also know is illegal, but when cops are when they're off duty and they're going into town, they have to call in and go, right, this is where I'm gonna be. Whenever he called it in to say, but he didn't go, there's 4 cops kicking off, he just went, there's a fight breaking out, can I get assistance? One of them got a phone call and they slung their hook quickly, because basically if anything happens in a bar where off-duty cops are, they're called to get out of there, so in case something happens, they're not liable.
Alright, there you go.
So there you go.
That's a wee bit of information.
Interesting. That's if that doesn't get us cancelled, I don't know what will.
Cop Talk, welcome to Cop Talk. With Mick. Mick the Night
That's not my real name, it's Miguel Podcastro.
Miguel Podcastro, don't say it, because if you do, you sound too communist and they'll come and take you away. Miguel Podcastro, yeah.
Where's my cigar? You know, I actually have a cigar in the house. It's a proper Cuban. It was gifted to me by our good friend Owen. And I thank you also to Pizza Works for supporting us on Patreon. There you go. They do lovely merch, by the way.
Entire restaurant.
I know. Best pizza in North Belfast. No, best pizza in Belfast. Nay, best pizza in Ireland. There you have it.
Italy doesn't know how to make pizza. Fuck them. Pizza Works do it better.
No. So that's right. Get it on Patreon. All that. I can't plug it anymore.
Yeah. What's this, your arse?
Yeah.
Oh, the Patreon. Sorry, I zoomed out there for a second because I just saw he's like, you're on another pizza rant. He's on another pizza.
Oh, I don't need a rant. But anyway, so thanks to Owen gave me a Cuban about a year and a half ago, maybe, and I've never smoked it. And I texted him a while ago, and I was like,
weed in it, make a big blunt out of it.
Because whenever like lockdown first started back in March, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? Because I always joked I would smoke it when the end of the world happened. Yeah. So whenever lockdown, I was like, oh, actually, the world is going to end. Yeah. But I ended up never smoking it. So I have to wait until we can go back to Hamburg and see some Poly play, and we're gonna smoke it in the snow. Well, in the stands, I just sit there with all the ultras. Is that a flower in your hand? Nah, mate, it's a Cuban.
Then you go, fuck it, there's a flower, Jesus. Fucking right out of the pit. Aye. I remember the only time I've had 1 or 2 cigars in my lifetime, but the most memorable one for me is when I went to Disney World or Disneyland or whatever.
Cigar at Disney World?
They had a proper cigar shop.
Brilliant.
Because it's in Florida, so like it's all.
But there's no alcohol. That's weird.
No, there is alcohol.
I thought there was no alcohol in Disney.
You can't get juiced on one of the rides, like, but there is bars. There's like Planet. What do you call that?
Planet Hollywood.
No, not Planet. Well, there is one of them there, like, but there's like it's like Treasure Island or fucking one of those type of places you call it, and it's specifically for adults. There's a House of Blues as well. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of stuff. You can't get like fucking off your face and jump on the Buzz Lightyear ride. You know what I mean? But you can go to the bar within it. But they had a big cigar fucking place there, and I bought this cheap as fuck. But I tell you what, it was as big as that mic stand, and I brought it down to the fucking shared house. We were, there's a fucking cigar. Everybody's guess me. 6 months later, and this fucking thing's still sitting there, and like it would not fuck off. I ended up being like, I'm putting this in the bin. It's fucking. It was like literally, it was about that size, but about that thick.
Yeah, I had a cigar like that, and it took me 3 days to smoke it.
Oh, fuck
no
that.
Joke. It was unbelievable. I could never smoke a cigarette for about a week after. Even when I brushed my teeth, it was still in my mouth.
It just be so thick. It's a different beast. Yeah. See, whenever I was in Denmark, in Copenhagen, there's a place called Christiania, one of the two. I don't know how to pronounce it. And basically, it was like an old army base that it got abandoned, and the hippies came over and took it over. And they basically like art installations and stuff and all. But within it, there's a green light district, so you can basically. It's green light district, so it's basically
anything goes.
It's like fucking, what do you call that market in the town there? St. George. It's like St. George's Market for weed. So they literally have it all sitting out, and you go down, I'll have a wee bit of this. I bought like 3 pre-roll joints, and you think, pre-roll. These things were like they were quite literally bats, And they were about that say, like, if anybody's listening, I'm hoping my fingers about this far apart.
same length as his penis.
That's it. I need to leave one hand on the table and walk out of the room. But yeah, so, and it was this so I got a weight, like a grass one, and I got a fucking like a hash one, and I smoked the grass one and fucking knocked the shit out of me. I'm walking around Copenhagen freezing my balls off, like it's one of the coldest fucking colds I've ever felt. They're walking around freezing my balls off in Copenhagen, like stone, like borderline wearing my whole off, walking around this place and all. I was like, right, calm down, and you know, because it was the first joint of the fucking day and blah blah blah. And so went out that night and had a laugh and all. So the next day I was like, right, I'll fucking took this hash one, used to hash, because at the time weed wasn't really prolific as it is now around here. It was all fucking slate and bar you were getting. And so I was like, so I sparked it up and took 3 joints and fucking hit the deck. I was like, Jesus Christ. And I swear to fuck, I was in Copenhagen for 6 days staying with my mate, and I left him half of the joint sitting there, because you would literally get up and you take away 3 draws of it, and you'd be like, I can't take any more of that, and you'd snub it out, and it would just fucking sat. I was like, mate, have that. I cannot take that anymore.
Did you get lost in the bathroom like I did?
No, because I'm not fucking stupid. Fucking so
Well, if you want to hear that story, listen to the last episode.
So fucking that's my fucking man. I wish I still smoked. If the Sands came out and was like, I fucking smoking Scoofy, I'd be like, right, sweet.
I used to hate it because like whenever we'd have a break in our gigs and all, like I'd have to stand there and watch all the gear while you went for a downer, and then I'd get approached by all the weirdos of the day.
I know, it was great.
Can I get violin lessons? No, go away, will you? I don't want to give you money.
See, the first time whenever I stopped smoking and I fucking had the stand there with you, such a weird experience, because I was like, time was way longer, because you had half an hour between sets, and I would take it down there, have a smoke. By the time I was finished, because I'd take a walk around the block, by the time I was finished, it'd be like, right, 5 minutes, we're back on. I was like, sweet. Whereas whenever I was standing there with you, like waiting, I was like bored out of my fucking tits. You felt like you were standing there for hours and hours and hours, like just fucking half an hour. Just your company was so exciting. Is this what you do when we're not playing? Stand there awkwardly,
just
looking
getting
at each other.
chatted up by all the men, mate.
Oh, fucking weirdos like everywhere.
I know.
What, yeah.
That's some dexterity you have in your fingers.
Did you say dicks there? There's some dicks there.
I heard, as a Dave Letterman say on his thing with Dave Chappelle, and they were playing golf, and Dave Letterman switched from right hand to left hand, and Chappelle was like, "You ambidextrous?" He's like, "No, Presbyterian." I like that. I hear Dave Letterman's beard's epic, by the way. I think it weighs more than he does.
I was thinking of Jay Leno for some reason. I couldn't imagine him with a beard, but I know Letterman. What letter was he though?
I don't know.
P.
Jay Leno's got a hell of a car collection. You ever see him on Top Gear?
No.
Unbelievable.
I don't know. I did enjoy the old Top Gear back in the day.
I know, like as offensive as Jeremy Clarkson was,
it's entertaining.
The new model of it's terrible. Oh, by the way, speaking of Top Gear, see James May's new cooking program on Amazon Prime. It is phenomenal. See when you see cooking programs, you're like, aye, that's a load of shite. No, they also do here's one I made earlier and all this crap. James May is literally just in a kitchen, not knowing what he's doing, drinking, and he has a woman who is a home economist. Is it, so it's basically when you watch Saturday Kitchen and they pull something out of the oven or anything out there, they basically have a chef who's doing the work for them. So he literally he makes the joke out of it. He keeps her in the cupboard unless he needs help. And then he brings her out, and then she goes, "Oh, yes, you fix it." And then she goes back in. But then he gives her a glass of wine. But he's such a fuddy duddy, you know. But it's half an hour episodes, and I swear to God, man, it is the best cooking program because he burns shit and everything. It is amazing.
Don't do this at home.
No, literally, and he's like, and then he's like scoring shit into the counter, and he's like, "Oh fuck, how do I fix that?" But I recommend it. It's called Oh Cook because he always says Oh Cock.
I was going to say, because that's literally what came to my mind when you said it.
Yeah.
Here, if you were to invent a TV show, a game show,
yeah,
what would it be?
I want Bamboozle from Friends.
Bamboozle, but you didn't invent it; you just took it. Use your mind. Use your mind here. Use your creativity.
I think it would be something along the lines of Funhouse, but mashed up with Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, so people diving through blades and shit.
Yeah,
that's not bad. I would watch that. Like was it fucking, what do you call the one? Is it like Challenge? UK TV Challenge or
Yeah.
something like that? They'd pick that up, no fucking problem. Like.
Oh, I 100%.
But no, here, is that not what Total Wipeout is, essentially?
No, Total Wipeout was basically Ninja Warrior with water.
Ninja Warrior, only the obstacle course hit you a dick in the face.
Yeah. Aye. No. I think that's what it was. Yeah, that's what
Ninja
yeah,
Warrior.
was-
Ninja Warrior with foam. It's like Ninja Warrior for people
Yeah.
with like learning difficulties, essentially, because like, it was all padded and foamed and it was all soft. It was like a soft play.
It was a
fucking thing.
sensory.
a sensory Ninja Warrior.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
But the way, do you know what made me say that? Because I was sitting thinking about it, and do you ever watch the intros when they're coming on? Like they're like, oh, you know, this is Clive from fucking Scottsdale or whatever.
Alright,
You know,
okay, yeah.
you know, what have you got to say? And he goes, you know, "Hurrah!" And then he just runs off, and you're like, there's something definitely lacking in him, like. Fucking, but they're all like that, you know. They always had these like shit, like really
Yeah.
lackluster like at the start of Takeshi's Castle or Takeshi's Castle. They ever see whenever they would come out, and even though you couldn't understand what they were saying because it was in fucking whatever the Asian language is, Japanese, I think.
Takeshi's Japanese. Yeah.
So they would come out and they would say their little bit in Japanese, and you know, it was exactly the same in Total Wipeout. Only they come out,
So
and
I'm just-
maybe Total Wipeout wasn't the name of the show. It was alluding to the type of contestants that they wanted. Like, only Total Wipeouts are gonna fucking apply for this show.
Oh my god! No.
We actually had stuff to talk
I had
about
to
today,
stop,
and
I had to
it's
stop myself from doing a Japanese accent. There.
don't.
If
I
you
always
want
think-
racist analysis, watch General Banter.
I always think that the best thing to say in a Japanese accent is chocolate sprinkles. Go on, Mike, say it.
No,
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 yeah,
I can't do it.
we'll,
No, I've already outed the PSNI on here. I don't need to be doing anything
we'll
else.
alienate that 1% Singapore audience. You don't want them getting fucking. We'll have to do all the accents, or else we'll fucking.
god! Oh,
Excuse me.
mate, that's mental.
I've applied to go on Total Wipeout. I think somebody did. Oh fuck here! Speaking of applying to go on game shows, do you know what Finna put us forward for? Don't tell the bride. So she did.
You've joked about that for
Because she
years.
gave us, she put us, you get 12 grand to
Yeah.
plan your wedding. I would actually do a proper wedding.
No, the thing is, I think you would know how to do it.
Oh yeah, easy peasy. Okay.
Hire a venue for 200 quid and spend the rest of it on a carry it.
Strippers. Strippers.
No, but that's not you to do. You'd probably hire Bad Manners or something like that to play the music.
No, do you know who I would do? I would go, right, I would just call in a favour and just say, like, right, fucking Empire, like, go down to the Empire, a big fucking venue hall, like, and say, right, listen, do us a favour, this is going to be all over fucking BBC, fucking TV, do it for nothing, and we'll
Yeah.
pay for the food and all, and then I would hire, like, Wolfpack.
Yeah.
I'd say, like, right here, 10 grand for you to come over, is that enough?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll fucking put you
That'll
up,
be
and then
class.
just do a proper gig, and then charge all the guests a tenner to
Yeah.
get in. Say to them, don't buy us anything,
Yeah.
just bring a tenner to get into the gig.
Yeah,
Fucking-
speaking of Bad Manners, remember the other night I sent you a video of the Wurzels playing Christmas intro music on Never Mind the Buzzcocks?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
Bill Bailey.
Yeah, well, later in that episode, Bad Manners come on for Phil Jubin's team to do exactly the same thing. And I have to send a link to it. It's so funny, like seeing these big ska heads just doing. Cause
I think I've seen the episode. It's bringing back all sorts of memories.
so fun. I Never Mind the Buzzcocks is one of the best.
I always
quiz
think
shows
that when
ever.
Mark Lamar was on it,
He was the best.
he was the best.
There was nobody. He was so he's. That's the thing. Like he's a comedy writer. Like he wrote all his own insults and shit.
He
So
wrote all his own time. Like, you know, Jeff, what have you got there for me? What am I going to say to
Yeah.
Ulrika Johnson? She goes, right,
Yeah.
cunt.
Did you ever remember that there was an episode where your man Preston from was it the Ordinary Boys?
I
And he-
know his wife, your mom, you have Simon
yeah,
Amsterdam.
Simon Amsterdam sat and read his book. But like, you're like, mate, you're married. Like,
Nope.
look at you. Like, you know, you can't go on that show and not have thick skin. It's like there was some fella. Like I don't watch that. I'm a Celebrity, but there was this thing. I kept saying Jordan North like trending on Twitter. I was like, what the hell is this? So he's a Radio 1 DJ, and he was doing one of them Bush Tucker trials on I'm a Celebrity, and apparently he was having proper panic attacks over it. And then I was like, everyone's like feeling really
Has
sorry
he
for
not
him.
seen
I was like,
the
have you never
show?
seen the show? Did they literally go, here's a check?
Do you remember that fucking mad bitch that was on it? The one,
Which one?
the owl doll.
Allingham?
No, fucking. what do you call it? She was that woman, though. Like, she did that. She was that whole health person. And funny, she looks so unhealthy. No, she was always like,
the
"Oh,
one that inspects your shit.
mate, that's literally
Gillian
was-
McKeith.
Is that her name?
Yeah.
Fuck me. And she was like, they were like, "Here, your name's Gillian," and she'd faint. Do you know what I mean? And they were just like,
Yeah.
"Fucking right, you're gonna have to do this," and she'd faint, and she'd fucking whinge and gurn. And it's like,
Yeah.
why you? If you knew you were a twat, do you know what I mean? Like, you knew all this, but like, how can you look through people's shit? Actively go, you know, nice, like, and get that smell and have it in your hands, and then somebody go, "Here, eat a testicle," and you fucking faint. It's like, that doesn't make sense.
I'm a celebrity. Like, it should be done for like hate crime.
Somebody says,
It got Peter Andre and Jordan together.
Fiona was telling me, do you know where it's being held now because of COVID?
Wales.
Wales. Imagine how fucking raising you would be if you got accepted for I'm a celebrity. It's like, "Oh, I'm going to Australia." Like, no, you're going to Thorpe Park. You're going to Legoland.
There's people who are in it. I'm like, what, you like Mo Farah's in it. Like, mate, you're one of the greatest Olympians ever.
But is he not like super vegan?
I
He
think
does corn mince.
I think he
What
is.
the fuck's he gonna eat? They're gonna
Bugs.
But that's still
I watched
animals.
MasterChef last night, and this lad served up a dessert made with hay custard and wood ants,
So
ants and hay. And
I remember seeing a video years ago. I think they like played it to us in school, and they were like, it was like for some fucking social fucking thing we were doing, and they were like, "Yeah, this is the future of food," and it was basically, you know, agricultural farms getting out of hand, dairy farms getting out of hand, all that. Like, we're gonna have to cut back. So what are we gonna replace all this with? And they're like insects, millions of them everywhere.
Yeah.
So it was like, guys, so they were like, "Oh, this is like chocolate covered, you know, slugs and shit."
I like I'm quite adventurous with my food, and like anytime there's something mental on like Facebook, I'll always get tagged in it going, "Like, would you eat this?" And there was one that I got tagged in, and it was one of a live squid, and it jumped on the guy's face, and I'm like, "Why are you tagging
Did
me?"
you ever see that film, Old Boy? Did you ever watch Old Boy? The fucking
but I know
Korean
what you're
film.
I know what you're
It
talking
was
about.
remade there. I haven't watched the remake, but the old. I'm not. There's a big fucking twist at the end. Massive, like a twist where you're like, "What the fuck? I did not see that coming," and it is incredible, the twist. But basically, because basically the guy at the start of the film is a wanker, and you can see he's getting on like a wanker. He's a big chubby fuck, and he's just a real entitled cunt. Like, turning up a police station because they fucking arrested him and all that there. So basically, he goes outside to phone like his kids and his wife, and he just disappears. He gets kidnapped. So they basically keep him in this fucking hotel room. They don't like torture him or anything out there. They basically literally keep him in this fucking hotel room for like fucking something like 15 years or something like that. And they knock him out like with gas and come in and clean him and shave him and all that shit. But it's all about him fighting all like how this happened and all that shit. But when he gets out of the hotel room, he's basically like dead behind the eyes. And he gets in and he sits in this fucking sushi thing. And he's like, "Give me something that's alive." And your woman gives him the squid. And he fucking picks it up and he like bites the head off it, and he starts like putting it in his mouth, and then, again, the thing's crawling up his face. And apparently he was like vegan as well, like really fucking vegan to do that. So like that's mate, watch that film.
No.
It's a fucking great. It is a really great film, but that twist at the end, I was like, holy fuck,
That's nuts.
it is meta. I think the remake, because it was like an Americanized version, it doesn't do the twist. It has a twist, but not the original twist. The original twist is so fucked up, I don't think American audiences would have went for it at all. But yeah, check out that Old Boy. Fucking great film. I love a good old foreign film. One of my favourites is Life is Beautiful. Do you ever watch that?
I think I have.
The Second World War film about the son and the son and the dad going into the fucking concentration camps together.
Yes, I
It's
have.
almost a comedy. It's fucked up. Man,
Out of darkness always comes light, mate. You know what I'm saying?
that's it. Right, well, man, that fucking...
What that for a philosophical pipe bomb?
You don't get me when I'm thinking about this film. I'll start crying, and you're saying these truth bombs everywhere. I'll start weeping. Yeah, aye, fucking brilliant film. Check it out. That's a good one. Have you? What's your favourite films?
Well, you know what my favorite
A
film-
fucking
No.
That's not a foreign film.
Well, technically, it's set in China.
Aye,
Little
in
China
New
and San
York.
Francisco.
Aye, San Francisco. Yeah.
Favorite foreign film.
Well, any film? What is your favourite film?
Do you know what? Right, there's a film I genuinely love. It's called Shine.
I can't say I've ever seen it.
It's based on a true story about a classical pianist from Australia, comes from a Jewish household, very abusive family, and he attends the Royal Academy of Music in London, and he becomes a virtuoso. And the big hurdle he has to tackle, like a lot of pianists, who is Rachmaninoff's Third Piano Concerto, and he practices so much, and he gets the performance, and then he has a nervous breakdown in the midst of the performance, so he just collapses into a heap, and then when he comes to, he's mentally everywhere. He's all over the place. And it's all about how he's still a genius, but he's trapped inside a fucking body that he just can't cope. And he ends up, he finds this piano bar. He's wandering the streets naked.
All these Yamahas sitting having a beverage.
And then there's all these yuppies, and he just walks in and sits at this piano and just starts playing Flight of the Bumblebee, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" And he becomes like this celebrity. But it's all about how it's kind of like the Susan Boyle thing, where like Susan Boyle clearly was not mentally fit to be able to handle the pressure of Britain's Got Talent, but they thought, we'll make money out of her anyway. It's kind of like that, but on a much more extreme scale. So it's called Shine. It's
there you go.
It's really, really. I don't even know where you can. I've checked. You can't get it on Prime. You can't get it on Netflix. But if you're into your illegal downloads, it's easy to find.
Funny, you said it was an Australian film.
Yeah, I think so.
There's a couple of Australian films that I have thought were fucking brilliant over the last while. There's one called Animal Kingdom about basically like, cause do you ever see it?
I've seen it advertised on Prime.
It's
up there.
There's basically it starts off with like there's a wee lad there, and he must be in his like late teens, maybe early 20s, and his ma's like overdosed on the fucking couch beside him, but he's so used to it. He calls the ambulance, and she looks like she's asleep, and he's just sitting watching the TV. You get the impression that he's a bit slow the whole way through it. Like that's what they're setting him up for. But basically his ma like dies at the start of the film, and then his family that takes him in, his granny and his 3 uncles, are basically a crime family, but it's not like that sort of mafioso type fucking family where it's all respect and honor and fucking all. It's basically they're dirty bastards, you know what I mean? So it's basically about him rising up through the family, but not in a way that you would think. It's not like he goes out and fucking commits loads of crimes and they respect him. He basically becomes the head of the family just through a different way. It's very good. But there's another one called Gone. Basically it's like a hitchhiker fucking film where the guy he's like waiting for a train the next day, and he bumps into this fella, and he's like, the fella's like, "Oh, I'm waiting on fucking so and so and blah blah blah." He says, "Well, sure, why don't you come out for a drink with us, and we'll keep you company for the night and all." So basically this guy ends up fucking tagging on to the first guy, and basically fucking drives a wedge between the original guy and the missus, and basically makes out to the guy, "I'm stealing your girlfriend," and the girlfriend's not in it, blah blah. But it's really like psychological thriller, but fuck, it's really good. But every Australian film I've seen has been pretty fucking
Muriel's
pretty
Wedding.
good. I've never watched Muriel's Wedding actually.
Yeah.
Do you like that? You're terrible, Muriel.
Yeah. It's just the only one I could think of.
I was going to say I watched Round the Twist, but that's New Zealand, I think.
Some good films out there.
One of my all-time tops, two, The Thing, John Carpenter, is one of my tops.
I like John Carpenter, but The Thing was never one.
Oh, I loved it. It's good. I just enjoyed it. It's all about the paranoia. It's never really about the alien. It's about the paranoia within it. But one of my all-time top 3, Wall-E. Wall-E, mate.
You always bring this up.
I do. I know I do.
Did you ask me to learn the music from Wall-E once?
I don't think there is, but no, there's only one real tune in all of Wall-E. But if you haven't seen Wall-E, fucking go get it.
Here, do you know what I learned?
Go and watch it. It's the future of humanity.
Hope County from Far Cry New Dawn.
You watched it?
I learned.
Oh, you learned it, did you?
With the slide.
Oh, did you? You had to do it like that? Two slides at once?
Aye. Wait till you see those fingers. Here, that's going to be a Patreon exclusive. Mixed left hand. Just to focus on me doing different fingerings.
Different fingerings.
On my violin.
That's it. Well, no, I think we'll get more if we do it the way you originally intended.
What were your... just your beard.
Finger banging. I should write a tune called Finger Banging where we're both tapping. I tap on the guitar and you tap on the violin. Finger banging. Finger bang you all night long. Here it is an hour and 7 minutes.
Let's wrap it up. I know, we just waned.
I know the thing is we actually had fucking serious talk to talk about. We're going to talk about the fucking state of the NI music scene at the minute, because there was the NI music prizes out there, but we'll not get into that. We'll save that until next week.
Yeah,
and
okay,
we'll
that's a good idea.
Talk about how fucking wanking all this.
So housekeeping, 5-star review, Apple Podcast, follow us everywhere except home. Subscribe on YouTube, support us on Patreon. You can get our music, you can get our podcast, you can get anything pretty much. Also, happy 30 years The Undertaker. So 30, it's Survivor Series weekend.
30 years, fuck.
30 years of Taker, so thank you, Taker. The man's got Instagram, like, I mean,
He's also got a permanently reserved table at the fucking...
at Nando's in Glasgow.
Nando's, I know, weird
Random.
as fuck, like.
I was like, can I get a permanently reserved table at the John? Can I get my plaque?
Mate,
Mate, where's our plaque?
come on the
Davey,
fuck.
give us our plaque, mate, know what I mean? Mumford and Sons, they don't come by and buy beers, do they? C6 Steve, he doesn't come by and buy beers. No, but we do. So give us our plaque, you. You know,
We've had enough of this shit.
I know.
Yeah,
So,
so, yeah.
I don't know what else to say really, except
Yeah.
this is the way.
Be excellent to each other.
That's for the Mando fans out there.
Wait, who's that? Oh, fuck that. You watching that? Again, I got into it, and then as soon as...
I've never wanted kids, but I'll have a baby Yoda.
No,
I mean-
You'd fucking have a baby Yoda on toast because he looks like an avocado. You'd be like, aye, this guac's fucking bony. And right,
God,
right, so we're going to just let this. I'm going to try a new outro. So you like the music from the last week.
I
So
did.
what we'll do is, from here, I'm going to basically start fading out. So you'll hear us getting lower and lower from here. And the music will start to come in. And the screen will start getting dark. And basically, I'm doing a description for people with bad eyesight.
And I'm getting teabagged back Christmas decorations.
That's it, So, if anybody wants to pre-order Cunts Mix, give us a shout.
Oh, I also Ninja20 beardybeerco.com for 20% off your grooming products. Ladies, we know
That's
you
it.
need them.
It works well in American, we've been told.
Get that crack looking slick.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying?
Need a slick crack. But anyway, on that note,